United are closing in on Manuel Ugarte, and it said in days an agreement is going to be reached between Manchester United and PSV. Leny Yoro, part of the squad that was going to travel to Scotland, and he might be really making his debut today. And lastly, we are going to be discussing about Mason Mount. United is considering to sell him. Fabrizio Romano has come out and had something to say about that story that was broken some hours ago. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. This is Rokan David. You can as well call me RD onto the United Matters channel. Let's see close to 200 likes matching this video. Second video of the day before we obviously get into the match day live with the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United that are expected to be out an hour from now. All right. The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And let's start it off with Santi J. Manchester United and PSG are closing to reaching an agreement to the transfer of Manuel Ugarte. That's what Santi just gonna hit to say. And when he said are close to reaching an agreement for the transfer of Manuel Ugarte, Fabrizio Romano on playback came in and said negotiations with PSG and Man United are ongoing for the signing of Manuel Ugarte. It will take some days before entering the final stages. That's what Fabrizio Romano came up and obviously told us, that it will take some days before it enters the final stages of the day. Now, when you add dots that Fabrizio Romano is going to hit, obviously put out, and Santi J, it shows you that the deal is really close. Manchester United is working tooth and nail to get the deal of Manuel Ugarte over the line. And when you look at the speed that we used to obviously go in and really hijack the deal of Joshua Zirkzee, look at how we beat Madrid and Liverpool on Leny Yoro. Man United is in for this, and we are going to be taking it to the next level. That is it. Unless otherwise, United feels like they cannot convince PSG to take the money they want to offer to them. I tell you, this deal is going to be done and dusted. And remember, Man United has to first move on a player, and the player in contention to really leave the club of Manchester United is either Aaron Wan-Bissaka or Scott McTominay. Those two players are really available for sale, and the other one is Eriksson, Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and it will depend on who Man United will be willing to sell imminently. So we have to first sell a player. After selling a player, we'll see to it that all comes to pass, and Man United will be doing the needful. So I'm just excited of this deal. Next week, we might obviously get another here we go as we fly to the US to start off our pre-season. Remember, you're going to be playing Arsenal there on the 28th, and I think Arsenal is flying on this Sunday. I think tomorrow, that's when Arsenal is flying to the US. They are first going to be playing against Bournemouth on the 25th of this month, and then 3 days later they'll take on the club of Manchester United. And I think by the time we play them, Arsenal would have gone ahead to play one game. Manchester United would have gone ahead to play 2 games, and they won't come up with any excuses that this was the first game that Arsenal played. So this time round, it's really going to be a highly competitive game between Manchester United and Arsenal down in the United States of America. And United are really working hard to get in Manuel Ugarte to obviously see to it that by the time they're in the US, Manuel Ugarte can join them. Fabrizio Romano also added something important about the deal of Manuel Ugarte, and he said Manchester United knows that PSG are very advanced in talks to sign João Neves, so they are not going to pay 70 million euros for Manuel Ugarte. The relationship between United and Jorge Mendes is excellent. Ugarte has the same agent as Leny Yoro. Now, as it stands for the club of Manchester United, it's all moving into the right direction. But the problem is the price, 70 million euros that PSG are really calling in for Manuel Ugarte, a player they bought for 60 million euros, and they want to make a profit of 10 million euros. And United are like, we are not obviously going to allow this to happen, and there is no way for them to go back for for João Neves, because they know to it that they are really in advanced talks with the agent and PSG. So what they've gone ahead to do is that they are going to do the needful and obviously agree with PSG that we are getting you such and such amount of money, right? And if at all you're not accepting the money, then we will call it quits in a nick of time. That is it coming in through from Fabrizio Romano, and I'm liking the way Man United are really taking this business to the next level. They are not allowing to be ransomed. That is Manchester United for you, and they're like, nothing is really gonna go against us. We are gonna be doing the needful as a club of Manchester United, and we'll obviously not allow to be ransomed. We have not the money that you want. And I know the side of PSG will allow the money because they should accept what went ahead to happen, as they went ahead obviously buy this player from PSV. And not every player you buy, you obviously get profit from him. And I think if we can pay 60 million euros for Manuel Ugarte, that is really good business, because Manchester United will come in through and obviously say that we are paying 50 million euros, right? Okay, we are paying you 60 million euros, 50 million euros are coming in through as guaranteed fees and 10 million euros of add-ons, meaning that 50 million euros spread in a contract of 5 years, 10 million euros per season or per year. That won't be bad for the club of Manchester United. It will be good business. So I like it when United are not wanting to get ransomed, meaning that when you hear that Man United is going to have to spend big, just know they've going to have to just make a decision for them to spend big, right? And if they don't spend big, it's a decision that they've gonna have to take into the mix. Now, after Manuel Ugarte, shockingly, we got in a story coming in through from the man known as Grammy Bailey that Man United would be open to sell Mason Mount, right? And then Fabrizio Romano immediately came up and really said no. It's a lie. The lad is not going to be sold. And I was like, how can United really sell a player who has been injury prone? You spend 60 million euros onto him, and do you expect any profit to come from the player? And I was really shocked that a journalist would have gone ahead obviously put it out well. But the beauty with him is that he said United would be open. They are not willing to sell, but would be open to sell Mason Mount. Fabrizio Romano kicked in and said, Man United are currently not planning to sell Mason Mount. Despite recent reports, there is no plan to part ways. So there are no plans for Man United to part ways with Mason Mount. That's what we are getting into from Fabrizio Romano. But I understand that Fabrizio Romano and David Austin have gone ahead obviously occupy the space of the news that really breaks. And these other journalists have gone ahead to find themselves in spaces where they are just desktop journalists, I tell you, because if you are not a desktop journalist, then how do you come out and drop a story like that is refuted by a credible journalist in a nick of time? But for Mason Mount, this season is really paramount. It is one of the seasons where he has to prove himself that he obviously has to be playing for the club of Manchester United. He had scored one of the most important goals when playing against Brentford, but they leveled us in the dying minutes. But that doesn't stop what the quality he put up onto the pitch as a player. I know he's a very good player, but he has to start to tussle it out with Bruno Fernandes. And can he bench Bruno Fernandes? That is it, because Bruno Fernandes is the captain and he leads by example. And there is no way Erik ten Hag is planning to obviously play him in the double pivot, because he knows to it that he doesn't have the qualities and the strength to be playing in there. And he has only tussled it out with Bruno Fernandes into the mix. So he needs to raise up to the occasion, and today I don't know how he's going to be put in the team. Last time he was played into the double pivot, and I think this time around he'll be played in his favorite position as a number 10. If I'm Ten Hag, I pull Hannibal to be playing into the double pivot, then I see the rest happening by itself. So wait and see how that pans out. But for Mason Mount, very bad season he had as an opener, and I tell you what, he needs obviously up his stockings, not to be injury prone like he was last season. Looked like something had gone to attack Manchester United last season, and that ghost of sacking the manager, Erik ten Hag, was all over Old Trafford, but the board went ahead to make a very brilliant decision that we are not going to sack Erik ten Hag. Looks like it had a time duration, a time spell that United would be losing games, and then they wanted him to be sacked, but he couldn't obviously get sacked as a manager, and is still the manager of Manchester United. So Allow me obviously drop you the list of players that are going to hit obviously travel to the side of Scotland to play against Rangers. It's Demontmi, Onana, Ridek Vitek, Geoffrey, Amaz, Bennett, Evans, Fish, Jackson, Murray, Oguneye, Oyelede, Bisaka, Leny Yoro, Casemiro, Koyela, Jack Fletcher, Hannibal, Mether, Mount, James Scollon, Amad Diallo, Ethan Ennis, Joe Hugill, Jordan Sancho, and Whitley. That is the side of United that is going to travel to the side of Scotland. And I know most of you will be asking yourselves, where are the players? Now, Anthony Lindelof and Rashford miss out one with some niggles. Harry Maguire also an absentee. Tyrell Malacia is continuing his fitness program at Carrington. Meanwhile, Scott McTominay is building up his sharpness, having recently returned from the Euro. So those are the reasons as to why these players are not going to have to be part of the squad, but you'll smell something that maybe United never wanted Scott McTominay to obviously take part into this game because they believe he is really one of those players they can sell and really make huge profit. So after that, we've gone ahead obviously getting photos of players traveling to the side of Scotland. That is Casemiro, one of those players that he might leave the club of Manchester United. And John Evans, obviously boarding the plane to fly to the side of Scotland. This is Ethan Ellis and Will Fish, obviously onto the plane. And this is Amaz. You know him very well, Amaz, the left back. Exciting as he is, but I believe Murray is really doing a better job. And this is Murray. This is Oguneye and Hannibal, obviously boarding for the side of Scotland. Then this is it Rennie Hake, the other assistant manager that works with Eric Ten Hag. Then Ruud van Nistelrooy was into the mix, and Amad Diallo was also into the mix. Obviously ready to kickstart off his season, and prayers to him that he doesn't really get injured. And this is Jason Wilcox and Omal Berada, the CEO for the club of Manchester United. Now, most of you might be asking yourself, where is the man, Leny Yoro? Rokani, have you been lying to us that Leny Yoro Leny Yoro boarded to go to the side of Scotland? I didn't lie to you. I didn't say lies. The fact is, the boy boarded the plane, and that is the boy himself, Leny Yoro, going to make his debut for the club of Manchester United. I like it when players really come in and report on duty when they are physically fit. It shows you that he has a lot to offer onto his side. That is Leny Yoro for you, and his debut is going to be happening today. That is it. And I know he's going to be part of the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United into the mix. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. That's what I had for you. Tell me your thoughts about Ugarte to Manchester United transfer happening in days. And what do you make about Mason Mount rumors that is up for sale that have been really rubbished by or refuted by Fabrizio Romano? What do you make about the squad that is going to have to travel to Rangers to obviously play there? Do you think we're going to get a result in there? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokan David remains my name. Second video of the day, and more is yet to come onto this channel. The next time you see me here, it's going to be a live between Man United and Rangers, match day live, and then later after the game we will broadcast the match reaction, and then later the player ratings will obviously be dropped in a nick of time. Rokan David is my name. We are out. We cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, ciao ciao, love you to the fullest, and we meet when the lineups are out.